those who don't know, this is Elder Amoja Ajabu, your host for Ajabu Speaks. This program serves a dual purpose. It also is the political education class for the Black Panther movement. And I am your professor. And one thing that you got to understand about your professor that I have to repeat because it's from the foundation, is the point of the departure of the lesson, that your professor is a Pan-African. He does not define, just like a whole bunch of us around the world are stopping defining ourselves from where we was born. We define ourselves from where we're from. And I'm in that group. And when you define yourself from where you are born, it gives you a different perspective of what's happening in the world and where you fit in it if you're not trying to use where you were born. So you got to understand that your professor is unbought, and unafraid. We got it. But look, we ain't taking nothing back. We're going forward. We ain't going backwards. We're going forward. So you're going to get the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the butt-naked truth. And the truth is, and I'm talking about the president of South Africa. The truth is, and I think his name is Ramaphosa. The truth is, man, you need to quit messing with the white folks. Now, they done told you they don't like you and they don't want you. And I can see, I'm looking at you. You're over there and you got the G20 over there. Y'all know that the G20, and that's a group of 20 countries that have come together to cooperate economically. They're meeting over in South Africa right now. And DUC, the United States, is a part of that G20. And DUC told Ramaphosa, yeah, I know that you're having a meeting over there this year. Look, I won't be there because I don't like the way that you're treating them white folks over there. You ain't treating the white folks right. Now, the white folks done stole the land, enslaved the people on the land. The people rebel, get to tell the people, okay, you can't keep on controlling the land like that. And they win the fight, they beat them. And then they got to the negotiating table to talk about how they was going to coexist without the white folks being in control of the government. And they negotiated a deal. And the deal was, when it got through, that the Africans would control the government, but the white folks would still control 71% of the land. You didn't win that war if that's the deal. The battle was for the land. And if you done negotiated a deal to where when you get through with the deal, after you done fought to take back the land and telling people, look, you can't keep the land, you stole it, we're going to take it back, and you fought and you accomplished that, then you get to the table, and when you get through, the white folks still got 71% of the land. Oh, you didn't win that war. And so Ramaphosa, my brother, don't keep going over there kissing them people's butt. That done told you that we got him in his own world. Played down. That done told you. He ain't coming. And he done told you why he ain't coming. And then we're going to hear it off his own lips. He ain't coming. I think we're going to hear it. We should hear it. It's coming out. We're done now. We see Duck. Can you give me that? I'm looking for the video of Duck saying that he's not going to the G20. Can you give me that? That's what I want.
For generations, Miami has been a haven for those fleeing communist tyranny in South Africa. I mean, if you take a look at what's going on in parts of South Africa, look at South Africa, what's going on. Look at South America, what's going on. You know, I'm not going to, we have a G20 meeting in South Africa. South Africa shouldn't even be in the Gs anymore because what's happened there is bad. I'm not going. I told him I'm not going. I'm not going to represent our country there. It shouldn't be there. Take a look at what's happening in different parts of South America. Take a look at what's happening in different parts of the world. But now the Democrats are so extreme that Miami.
That's enough of him. You know, he's telling you, Ramaphosa. But he's telling you, I ain't coming over there, and I ain't coming over there because I don't like the way that you treating the white folks. And the white folks got, they ain't got it all, but they got 70% of the land over there. That they done killed you, hung you in a tree. Well, they done that over here, but they killed you in mass. You know, just quit kissing up to them, man. Leave them alone. They don't want you, and you don't need them. That land there is so wealthy. Get in control of that. Fight for that. That's the reason why Zuma left ANC. He understood. And even when he was up in there, he didn't hook up with him like that. But you done hooked up with the white folks that took the land, that's still in control of 71% of the land. And oh man, that you need to start talking and thinking the Pan-African way of thought. Where you was born down here in South Africa, even though it's on the African continent, that ain't good African thinking there, doctor. You got to straighten that up. Zeke and Duck ain't coming. We got to come together. And we got to quit being scared of this white boy. He ain't nobody being scared of him. He's a punk. He's a chicken. Look at, I'm telling you, look how he will fly over a boat with an outboard motor on it and drop a bomb on it. When he got 14,000 troops in the Caribbean, he could take 50 of them, stop the boat, get on the boat, inspect the boat, see if there's any drugs on the boat, and if there is, then, okay, we ain't going to let y'all bring that up into the country. But instead of that, he go and bomb them out of the ocean. Bomb them out of the Caribbean for 50,000, 100,000 feet in there. He's a punk. Now, he's a deadly punk. Because that shit will kill you. But we can beat him. And see, when you're talking about beating, the mayor of Chicago felt that he could beat him.
The local and state leaders who
made
this journey
into
the civil society organizations and activists whose persistence and advocacy and most of all courage have kept the pressure on the federal government to live up to its human rights commitments. Your work, often carried out under difficult conditions, is the conscience of this country. And of course, to our colleagues here at the United Nations, diplomats, human rights officers, and independent experts from the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, I truly thank you for your steadfast attention to the troubling developments in the United States, and especially right here in my beloved city, the city of Chicago. Many of you have already raised concerns about the deployment of the National Guard in U.S. cities, the militarization of law enforcement, the abusive immigration crackdowns, and other serious setbacks in the protection of fundamental rights. And on behalf of the city of Chicago, I want to acknowledge your statements and expressions of concern. Your vigilance matters because it signals to our communities that the world is watching and that international standards of dignity and justice apply to all nations, including my own. We are here because the federal government under the Trump administration has failed to meet even the most basic expectations of transparency and accountability before this council. And by refusing to submit its Universal Periodic Review Report and declining to appear for its review, this administration seeks to evade scrutiny for its violations of human rights, just as it has sought to evade accountability for its actions in cities like mine. This refusal to engage in good faith with international mechanisms for accountability and oversight is a moral failure. In Chicago, we live with the consequences of that moral failure every day. Families torn apart by immigration raids, raids that have targeted daycare teachers, rideshare drivers, and restaurant cooks. Honest, hardworking, law-abiding people who contribute to the soul of Chicago, who literally make our city run. The federal government's immigration enforcement has been marked by violence and an assault on the dignity of all Chicagoans. Federal agents drag parents out of their vehicles in the pickup line for elementary schools. They throw neighbors supporting their neighbors to the ground and assault them. Right before Halloween, federal agents deployed tear gas on a children's neighborhood parade. This harm is not just concentrated on our immigrant communities, however. In Chicago's South Shore neighborhood, a proud, predominantly Black community, federal agents carried out what can only be described as a military-style raid designed for social media to be a spectacle for the world to witness. Helicopters circled overhead, doors were kicked in, homes were destroyed. Immigrant residents were detained in one van while Black families, including children, were held in another. On the west side, federal agents placed a Black Chicagoan in a chokehold and forced him to the ground, just steps from the doors of the West Side Center for Justice, a space meant to protect and uplift our people. Earlier this week, federal agents crashed into the vehicle of Diane Figueroa, a U.S. citizen who was on her way to get coffee before heading to work. The agents then took her into custody for no apparent reason. These are not isolated incidents. They are reminders that the fate of our communities, Black, brown, immigrant, is bound together. An attack on one of us is an attack on all of us. And in Chicago, we stand united to defend our shared dignity, our safety, and our freedom. The harms that are emanating from the federal government are not only rooted in immigration enforcement. Black and brown communities contend with deepening cycles of poverty while federal programs that once sustained them are gutted. 1 in 5 households in the city of Chicago receives federal assistance to address food insecurity. As a result of the federal government's budget cuts and shutdown, these families will be left without this vital assistance. As someone with first...
You heard what he said. He's talking about the behavior of Duck. And he's telling you, this is the mayor of Chicago, he's telling you that Duck just ain't going, he just ain't using his military to go after civilians, he's going after citizens. And Brandon, like Malcolm, thought that you could take that to the United Nations and you could stop America from doing that. But see, and I thought that at one time in my life now, but now that I understand the system a little better, I understand that the United Nations is controlled by America more so than America's own federal courts. The federal courts are freer than the United Nations from the control of the people that's running things in Washington, D.C. And even though that was a good strategy, that's what Malcolm told us to do. And I bet he's standing up in his grave right now. But I'm saying that there's a lot better option. The United Nations is controlled by America. Duck makes things go up in there easier than what he can do in the federal courts here. And so, Brandon, when you talk about the examples of how Duck is arresting citizens, then that is against the law. And when a government, the federal government, any government, goes against the laws in this country, in this system, then that is tyranny. And you, my brother, and we shared that document with you. The complaint that you can file on behalf of the citizens in Chicago that have been arrested by Duck's government, you can file a suit on their behalf saying that that authoritative behavior is tyranny against the Constitution, against the law, and you can arm the people to be able to respond to that type of behavior of Duck's ding-dongs. They can respond appropriately to stop that. So, brother, file the documentation. And so you got some help. There's some legislators that have come out and made a public announcement that if the military, if the National Guard is given a order that is against the law, then they have the right to not carry out that order. Show them legislators. You're talking about Senator Kerry, Senator Slotkin, Representative DeLuzio out of PA, Pennsylvania, Representative Goodlander, Representative Crow, and Representative Houlihan. Them have said that, made an announcement, told the troops, get them in their own words. Don't you got them? Get them in their own words.
5 other Democratic lawmakers, all of them military or intelligence community veterans, to urge current officials to disobey illegal orders. Michigan Senator Alyssa Slotkin, a former CIA analyst, posted the video. The lawmakers say threats to the Constitution aren't just coming from abroad.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
The Army,
Our Navy,
the Air Force,
your vigilance is critical.
and know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
The American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws.
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
Slotkin told the New York Times that she's heard.
That's enough. You know, now I ain't saying doing it for America, but I'm saying do it because it's right. Duck has no business really arresting the immigrant population. I mean, he's hiding under the law on that. But on the other side of that, and I don't really support that, but he's got legal justification to do that. But what he is doing when he arrests a citizen, he don't have the legal authority to do that. And these legislatures are saying that if the troops look, and all of these are retired military people, he said they're saying, look, soldier, if he wants you to arrest a citizen, then that's against the law, and you don't have to do it. You can disobey that order. And they already got that right. Now, see, the mayor, Brandon, put him up there. See, bro, if you file that complaint in federal court right there in Chicago, and y'all got a judge that's already told the ICE officials that they got to stop the behavior that they doing up in there. You even done had some police that said, look, where y'all acting out here, we ain't gonna let you police the streets like that. So Chicago, from what Bobby Rush said, Representative Bobby Rush said, he says that's a fight back city. So in your fight, put something up into law so that you're doing the psychological war, so that the people can understand that they have the legal right, that you're waging the psychological war like the representatives were raising. Leave them up there, him and the legislatures. Yeah. See, just like they are waging the psychological war to say to soldiers that you don't have to put up with that, you don't have to follow that, you don't have to break the law like he's asking you to do, and you're legally right. Now you wage the psychological war with the people to tell them that not only do the soldiers have the right, the people have the right. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the butt-naked truth. So blood, file it. See now. And it looks like he really got some National Guard soldiers hurt in Washington, D.C. And it looks like it's a setup. Looks like that he is trying to create an incident that he can use in the court to tell them that now look, you told me that I got to be out by the 31st. Well, being that a couple of the soldiers have gotten hurt, that ought to be justification. That ought to be reason. That ought to change the situation to where it's that you could revisit your order and say that I don't have to be out of Washington, D.C. I can keep my troops up in there. But it looks like he's done that clandestinely, sneakily, because the dude that done it works for the CIA. This dude, now what? Boy, I forgot to get his picture, but he worked for the CIA when he was over in Afghanistan, when they was over in Afghanistan. When Afghanistan won that war, they said, oh man, okay, you was with us so much. He's selling over there, selling out his people. You was with us so much, that look, you can come over here and stay with us. You don't have to stay over there. We know that it's not going to be safe for you to stay over there. So come over here. You can be over here safe with us. And in order to be able to say, he had to go through the legal process. He filed the paperwork on 2024 to say, look, I need to be a refugee up in here. I need asylum. I need to be able to stay here safe, and I need the legal papers to say that I can do that. And he asked the government, and under Biden in 2024, they gave it to him. He had to renew it in 2025, and Duck gave it to him. He works for the CIA, which means that he works for Duck. And looks like Duck has used him to say, hey, go into Washington, D.C., shoot up a couple of those National Guard brothers, people, so that I can have an excuse to go to the court to say that I can keep the troops there, because when it comes time for me to get out of here, to leave the office, I'm not going, and I need to have troops there to enforce it, to where the people accept that I'm not going. Now, Buck Duck! Brandon filed the paperwork. Give the people the power to resist that by any means necessary. Whew. Let me, if I get this in right quick. Seems like the brother in Guinea-Bissau is doing the same thing that Duck is doing here. He's trying to create an incident to where it's that it justify him staying in the office, like Duck is trying to get an incident that's going to allow him to have the force to be able to stay in office. It looked like they're trying to create that environment sneakily. What am I talking about? Brother Mbalo looks like, now I can't say this for true, but it looks like, and like I tell you all the time, I'm not trying to tell you what to think, but I am trying to tell you how to think, share with you how to think. And when you start looking at the facts of the situation in the Cameroon, in Guinea-Bissau, it looks like the brother lost the election and said, look, I don't want to get out of office, so I ain't going to let the election board announce that I lost the election. I am going to get some of my soldiers to act like that they done took over the office, and so that I can say that it's the soldiers that's doing it, but I'm still calling the shot. But I got to cover. And look like that's what he's doing. Looks like these brothers who work for him, and who was getting paid real well for him, because they doing drugs over there. They letting them ships from Venezuela, I think Venezuela, from South America, Colombia, come over through here and move them drugs. And they work for him. And now it looks like he's using them to make it appear that there's been a coup, and there's not been a coup. It's just a play and a ploy for him to stay in power. Watch that now. I think I'm right with that. But we got to come together. We got to start thinking about the world and where we stand with it, by where we are born, not by, where we're from, not from by where we were born. Y'all got to help this program. We're trying to expand it. Send us $1 a month, $1. And if you're doing pretty good, send 2. We can use it in order to make things. We're getting ready to bring some things to y'all now. We're getting ready to report from all over the world. And the report will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the butt naked truth. I ain't got but one question for you.